Have you ever experienced that feeling that everything is going wrong? Moments when it seems like the universe is conspiring against you and everything that can go wrong really does? In these moments, anxiety and despair seem to dominate your mind and body. However, have you noticed that even in the midst of chaos, there is always someone who remains calm, serene, almost as if they are immune to the turmoil around them? This ability to maintain tranquility in adverse situations may seem like a gift reserved for a few, but it is actually a skill that anyone can develop. One of the philosophies that teaches the most about this is Stoicism. Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC. This philosophy teaches us to focus on what is under our control and to accept with serenity what is not. By applying Stoic principles in our lives, we can learn to face adversities with a strong and calm mindset. Here are 10 valuable lessons from Stoicism that can help you stay calm amidst chaos. 1. Distinguish what you can and cannot control. Stoics believe that we should focus our efforts on things that are under our control, our actions, thoughts, and attitudes, and accept with serenity what we cannot change, the actions of others, external events. 2. Practice self-knowledge. Knowing yourself is fundamental. By understanding your own emotions and reactions, you can control them better. 3. Cultivate virtue. For Stoics, living according to virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is the key to a peaceful and happy life. 4. Reflect on impermanence. Everything is temporary, including problems. Remembering this can help maintain perspective and calm. 5. Accept the nature of events. Accepting that events happen for a reason and are part of the natural order of the universe helps reduce resistance and suffering. 6. Practice gratitude. Focusing on the good things you have instead of worrying about what is missing can change your perspective and increase your emotional resilience. 7. Negative visualization. Imagine the worst possible scenarios to mentally prepare yourself and reduce the emotional impact if they happen. 8. Live in the present. Worrying about the past or the future steals your peace. Focus on the here and now. 9. Develop resilience. Face challenges as opportunities for personal growth. Each difficulty overcome strengthens your character. 10. Keep a journal. Writing about your thoughts and emotions helps process them and better understand your reactions. By incorporating these Stoic lessons into your life, you can learn to face difficulties with a calm and balanced mind, becoming the calm person amidst the chaos who inspires and comforts those around you. Let's explore each of these principles in more detail, but first, I'd like to know if you already practice any of these principles. Write in the comments. 1. Distinguish what you can and cannot control. Stoics emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what is under our direct control and what is not. This distinction is crucial for a balanced and serene life. According to this philosophy, we can control our own actions, thoughts, and attitudes. This means we have the power to decide how we will respond to any situation, regardless of the external circumstances that may arise. By focusing our efforts on what we can control, our own choices and behaviors, the Stoics believe we can achieve greater inner peace and a more meaningful life. This involves cultivating virtues such as wisdom to discern what truly matters, courage to act according to our principles, justice in treating others with respect and empathy, and temperance in exercising self-control over our emotions and desires. On the other hand, accepting with serenity what we cannot change, such as the actions of others or external events, is seen as a practice of acceptance and detachment. This does not mean passivity, but rather recognizing the limits of our influence and learning to deal with life's circumstances in a more tranquil and balanced manner. The Stoics teach that much of human suffering results from resisting events that are beyond our control. Instead of fighting the inevitable, they suggest we should direct our energy toward what we can change and positively influence. This not only promotes a greater sense of self-control and personal efficacy, but also empowers us to live with more integrity and authenticity, aligning our actions with our deepest values. This practice of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control is a skill that can be cultivated throughout life. It involves self-knowledge, mental discipline, and a continuous commitment to personal growth. By applying these principles in daily life, the Stoics believe we can find greater inner peace and a greater capacity to face challenges with serenity and courage. 2. Practice self-knowledge. Practicing self-knowledge is an essential journey for personal development and emotional well-being. Stoics and many other philosophical and spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of knowing oneself as a path to living a more authentic and satisfying life. Knowing yourself means being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. This allows us to better understand what motivates our actions and how we respond to life situations. By identifying behavioral and emotional patterns in ourselves, we can gain greater control over our responses, acting more consciously and deliberately. Additionally, self-knowledge helps us recognize our strengths and weaknesses. This is not just about acknowledging what we are good or not so good at, but also about understanding how our qualities and limitations influence our interactions with others and our life choices. By accepting our imperfections and areas for growth, we can work to improve and continuously develop ourselves. The practice of self-knowledge can include various techniques, such as daily or periodic reflection on our experiences, meditation to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, or even the use of tools such as personality assessment questionnaires. These practices help us become more self-aware, promoting greater mental and emotional clarity. In the Stoic context, self-knowledge is also closely linked to the cultivation of virtues. By understanding our own inclinations and tendencies better, we can work to strengthen virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues not only help us live according to our deepest values, but also navigate life's challenges and adversities better. In summary, practicing self-knowledge is a journey of personal discovery and inner growth. By exploring and understanding more deeply who we are, we can live with greater authenticity, emotional balance, and a greater capacity to positively impact the world around us. 3. Cultivate virtue. Cultivating virtue is a fundamental principle in Stoic thought, where living according to virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is seen as the path to achieving a fulfilling and satisfying life. For the Stoics, these virtues are not just abstract ideals, but practical guides for ethical and moral conduct. Wisdom is considered the fundamental virtue because it involves the ability to discern what is true, good, and just. It guides us in the pursuit of knowledge and the application of prudent judgments in our decisions and actions. Cultivating wisdom allows us to see beyond appearances and understand the long-term consequences of our actions. Courage, in turn, is not limited to physical bravery, but includes the moral courage to do what is right, even when it means facing challenges or resistance. This means acting with determination and integrity, even in the face of adversity or external pressures. Justice is another central virtue for the Stoics, who see it as the disposition to give each person their due, treating others with fairness and respect. This involves not only adhering to social and moral laws, but also acting with impartiality and compassion in all our interactions. Finally, temperance refers to self-control and moderation in our desires and emotions. Cultivating temperance means avoiding excesses and vices, seeking to balance our needs and desires with prudence and responsibility. Living according to these virtues is not just a matter of external behavior, but also of inner development. The Stoics believed that by cultivating these qualities within ourselves, we could achieve a state of inner tranquility and contentment, regardless of external circumstances. By practicing and integrating these virtues into our daily lives, we can not only improve our own well-being and happiness, but also contribute positively to the well-being of society as a whole. In short, for the Stoics, cultivating virtue is more than a personal goal. It is a commitment to a life of moral integrity and spiritual fulfillment. 4. Reflect on impermanence. Reflecting on impermanence is a Stoic principle that reminds us of the transient nature of all things. The Stoics believe that everything in the universe is in constant change, and this understanding can be a powerful source of calm and perspective. Firstly, it is important to understand that impermanence applies not only to the negative aspects of life, but to everything. Our joys, achievements, sorrows, and problems are all temporary. By recognizing that nothing is permanent, we can develop a more balanced attitude towards our experiences. When facing difficulties, this awareness helps us remember that suffering will not last forever, providing emotional relief. Similarly, when experiencing moments of happiness, the reminder of impermanence encourages us to appreciate them fully, knowing they too will pass. This reflection on impermanence also encourages us to live in the present. Often, we spend a significant amount of energy worrying about the future or lamenting the past. However, by accepting the transitory nature of life, we are reminded that the only moment truly within our grasp is the now. This motivates us to make the best use of the present, living more consciously and intentionally. Additionally, accepting impermanence can help us deal with loss and change in a healthier way. Losses of loved ones, jobs, relationships, or opportunities are inevitable, but the awareness of the fleeting nature of these experiences can soften the emotional impact. Instead of resisting change, we learn to accept it as a natural part of life, allowing us to adapt and move forward with greater resilience. The practice of reflecting on impermanence can be incorporated into our daily routine in various ways. Meditation, for example, is an excellent tool for internalizing this perspective. During meditation, we can focus on the ephemeral nature of thoughts and sensations, observing them arise and disappear without clinging to them. Another useful practice is keeping a journal, where we can record our reflections on the day's events and how they change over time. Revisiting these notes can provide a clear view of how life's highs and lows are transient. Ultimately, reflecting on impermanence invites us to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and detachment. Deeply appreciating what we have while it is present, without clinging excessively to the desire for it to remain, allows us to live more fully and with less suffering. This perspective gives us the strength to face challenges with calmness and the wisdom to enjoy the good moments with genuine gratitude. Therefore, by integrating the awareness of impermanence into our lives, we not only find a source of peace and balance, but also develop a deeper appreciation for the beauty and fragility of our existence. This, in essence, is one of the most profound and transformative teachings of Stoicism. 5. Accept the nature of events. Accepting the nature of events is a fundamental principle in Stoicism, which teaches that everything that happens is part of a natural order of the universe. The Stoics believed that the cosmos is rational and that all events occur for a reason, even if that reason is not immediately clear to us. This acceptance can be a powerful tool for reducing resistance and suffering. At the core of Stoicism is the idea that we should live in harmony with nature, both our inner nature and that of the world around us. This harmony involves understanding and accepting that many aspects of life are beyond our control. Stoic philosophy invites us to differentiate between what we can control, our own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, and what we cannot, external events and the actions of others. This distinction is crucial for achieving tranquility and peace of mind. Accepting the nature of events means recognizing that everything that happens is part of a complex web of causes and effects that are often beyond our comprehension. When we face difficulties or adversities, this acceptance allows us to see these experiences not as injustices or punishments, but as part of the natural order of the universe. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift in perspective can transform our approach to difficulties, helping us see each challenge as an opportunity for growth and learning. This acceptance is not synonymous with resignation or passivity. On the contrary, it involves an active attitude of adapting and responding to events in a rational and thoughtful manner. For example, if we lose a job, instead of despairing, we can accept the situation as it is and look for constructive ways to deal with it, such as seeking new opportunities or acquiring new skills. This practical and proactive approach is fundamental to emotional and mental well-being. Moreover, accepting the nature of events helps us cultivate resilience. By understanding that changes and uncertainties are inherent to life, we can better prepare ourselves to deal with them. This preparation is not only practical but also emotional. By accepting the inevitability of change, we become more flexible and less susceptible to suffering when things do not go as planned. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of living according to virtue, regardless of external circumstances. Accepting the nature of events means that our inner peace and sense of well-being do not depend on external conditions, but on how we choose to react to them. Maintaining integrity, justice, courage, and wisdom in the face of adversity is the true measure of a well-lived life. The practice of acceptance can be reinforced through meditation and reflection. Meditating on the impermanence and interconnectedness of all things can help us internalize the understanding that events follow a natural flow. Daily reflections on how we handle the day's events can help us adjust our mindset and strengthen our ability to accept what we cannot change. Ultimately, accepting the nature of events frees us from the burden of resistance and unnecessary suffering. By embracing the natural order of the universe and focusing on living virtuously, we find a source of inner peace and strength that allows us to navigate life with greater serenity and purpose. This Stoic principle, when truly understood and practiced, has the power to transform our relationship with the world and with ourselves, providing a more balanced and harmonious life. 6. Practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude is a powerful practice that can transform our perspective on life and enhance our emotional resilience. In Stoicism, as well as in many other philosophies and spiritual traditions, gratitude is seen as an essential means to achieve inner peace and satisfaction. Focusing on the good things we have, instead of worrying about what we lack, can radically change the way we live and face challenges. Gratitude begins with recognizing the positive things in our lives. Often, we are inclined to focus on problems and deficiencies, which can lead to a constant state of dissatisfaction and stress. However, by deliberately choosing to focus on what is good, we shift our attention to positive aspects that often go unnoticed. This can include small things, such as a pleasant moment with a friend, the beauty of a sunset, or the simple joy of a well-made meal. A regular practice of gratitude helps us cultivate a positive and optimistic mindset. Psychological studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude tend to be happier and less prone to suffer from depression and anxiety. This is because gratitude helps us reorient our focus from negative to positive aspects, which improves our overall well-being. Additionally, gratitude allows us to appreciate the present instead of obsessing over the past or being anxious about the future. When we are grateful for what we have now, we cultivate a sense of contentment and fullness that protects us against the incessant desire for more. This is especially relevant in the context of modern consumerism, where we are constantly bombarded with messages making us feel that we never have enough. Practicing gratitude is a way to resist this pressure and find joy in what we already possess. Gratitude also strengthens our relationships. When we express gratitude for the people in our lives, we reinforce bonds of mutual love and support. Appreciating others and verbalizing our thanks can improve communication, increase empathy, and create an environment of reciprocity. People who feel appreciated are more likely to behave generously and supportively, creating a positive cycle of gratitude and kindness. The practice of gratitude can be incorporated in various ways into our daily lives. Keeping a gratitude journal, where we daily note 3 things we are grateful for, is an effective technique to cultivate this habit. Taking a moment at the beginning or end of the day to reflect on the good things that happened can help us maintain a positive perspective. Guided meditations focused on gratitude can also be helpful to deepen this practice. Additionally, we can practice gratitude actively by expressing it to the people around us. This can be done through simple gestures of thanks, gratitude letters, or even sincere compliments. Demonstrating appreciation not only reinforces our own feelings of gratitude, but also spreads positivity and strengthens our social connections. In times of difficulty, gratitude can be an anchor that keeps us centered and resilient. By focusing on what we still have, even amid losses and challenges, we find strength and courage to move forward. For example, during a health crisis, being grateful for the support of friends and family, or for the skills of healthcare professionals, can provide a sense of hope and comfort. Therefore, practicing gratitude is more than just a mental exercise. It is a way of living that helps us find meaning and joy in our daily existence. By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, we not only transform our own life experience, but also positively impact those around us, creating an environment of shared well-being and happiness. 7. Negative visualization. Negative visualization is a Stoic practice involving imagining the worst possible scenarios as a form of mental preparation. While it may seem counterintuitive to focus on the negative, this technique is designed to strengthen emotional resilience and reduce the emotional impact if these scenarios were to actually occur. By mentally preparing for adversities, we can face life's challenges with greater calm and balance. At the heart of negative visualization is the principle that anticipating difficulties allows us to handle them more effectively. Stoics believe that by regularly considering the worst possible outcomes, we become less vulnerable to shock and disillusionment when things do not go as planned. This helps us maintain a realistic and balanced perspective on life, acknowledging that uncertainty and adversity are inevitable. Practicing negative visualization does not mean fixating on pessimistic thoughts or succumbing to fatalism. Instead, it is a deliberate mental exercise to prepare us emotionally. For example, we can imagine how we would react if we lost our job, faced a serious illness, or went through a financial crisis. By visualizing these situations, we can develop strategies to cope with them, identify available resources and support, and prepare contingency plans. This practice also helps us to value more what we have in the present. By considering the possibility of losing something valuable, whether a relationship, possession, or living condition, we become more aware of their importance and value. This can lead to a deeper sense of gratitude and appreciation, encouraging us to take better care of what we have. Moreover, negative visualization can reduce anxiety and fear of the unknown. Often, what scares us most is not adversity itself, but the uncertainty and lack of preparation to face it. By mentally exploring worst-case scenarios, we can demystify our fears, making them less intimidating and more manageable. This process allows us to approach life with a sense of confidence and control, knowing that we are prepared to deal with whatever challenges arise. The practice of negative visualization can be integrated into our daily or weekly routines. Spending a few minutes reflecting on potential adversities can be an effective way to strengthen the mind. During meditation or reflection, we can focus on a specific scenario and consider how we would respond, what resources we would use, and what actions we would take to mitigate harm. This mental preparation can be complemented by practical actions such as creating an emergency fund, strengthening social support networks, or acquiring additional knowledge and skills. While negative visualization may seem like a somber practice, it can also bring a sense of freedom. By confronting our greatest fears, we reduce their power over us. We know that, regardless of what happens, we have the ability to face and overcome difficulties. This confidence can be profoundly liberating, allowing us to live with less worry and more focus on the present. The benefits of negative visualization are widely recognized not only in Stoicism but also in other disciplines such as modern psychology and personal development. Mental preparation for negative scenarios is a technique used by athletes, military personnel, and high-performance professionals to enhance resilience and response to high-stress situations. In summary, negative visualization is a practice that invites us to imagine the worst possible scenarios to prepare us mentally and emotionally. By doing so, we lessen the emotional impact of real adversities, increase our resilience, and learn to deeply appreciate what we have. This Stoic approach equips us to face life with a stronger mind and a more grateful heart, ready to navigate life's ups and downs with serenity and courage. 8. Living in the present. Living in the present is a fundamental principle in Stoicism and many other philosophies and spiritual practices. This concept teaches us that excessive concern with the past or future can rob us of our peace and happiness, while focusing on the here and now allows us to experience life more fully and meaningfully. Worrying about the past is a common habit that many people have. We ruminate over past events, analyze mistakes made, or cling to regrets and resentments. This type of worry can be mentally exhausting and emotionally draining because, no matter how much we think about the past, we cannot change it. Stoics believe that while we should learn from our past experiences, we should not cling to them in a way that prevents us from enjoying the present. Similarly, worrying about the future can generate anxiety and fear. We spend much time anticipating problems that may never occur, imagining negative scenarios, and worrying about what might happen. This constant anticipation of what is to come prevents us from appreciating the present moment and can create a cycle of stress and worry that affects our mental health and overall well-being. To live in the present, it is essential to develop the ability to focus on the here and now. This means paying mindful attention to our current experiences, whether big or small. When we are fully present, we can appreciate the nuances and beauty of what is happening around us. The practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating this presence. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without attaching to them, allowing us to experience the present moment with clarity and acceptance. Furthermore, living in the present involves accepting the impermanence of life. Each moment is unique and fleeting, and when we recognize this, we are motivated to more intensely value the now. This can include simple pleasures such as savoring a cup of coffee, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or having a meaningful conversation with a friend. By focusing on these moments, we create rich and meaningful memories that enrich our life experience. The practice of living in the present also helps us develop greater emotional resilience. When we are focused on the present, we are better able to adaptively respond to emerging situations. We are not paralyzed by fear of the future or trapped in regret from the past, but respond to current circumstances with clarity and calmness. This approach enables us to face challenges with an open mind and a tranquil heart. Living in the present also has a positive impact on our relationships. When we are fully present with the people in our lives, we show that we truly value and appreciate them. This strengthens our bonds and creates deeper, more meaningful connections. Practicing active listening, where we genuinely hear what others are saying without being distracted by our own thoughts, is a powerful way to be present in social interactions. To incorporate the practice of living in the present into our daily routine, we can start with small changes. An effective technique is to dedicate a few minutes each day to simply being present. This can be done through meditation, where we focus on our breath and observe thoughts that arise without attaching to them. We can also practice mindfulness in everyday activities such as eating, walking, or even washing dishes, paying mindful attention to each movement and sensation. Another helpful approach is daily gratitude practice. Setting aside time at the beginning or end of the day to reflect on things we are grateful for helps us focus on the positives of the present, rather than worrying about what is lacking or what could go wrong. Ultimately, living in the present is a skill that requires practice and intention. By cultivating this ability, we find a source of peace and contentment that is available at all times, regardless of external circumstances. Embracing the here and now, we experience life more fully and gratifyingly, discovering that true happiness is always within reach in the present moment. 9. Developing resilience. Developing resilience is essential for facing life's challenges with strength and determination. In the context of Stoicism and other life philosophies, resilience is seen as the ability to cope with adversity constructively, turning them into opportunities for personal growth and character strengthening. Stoics taught that challenges are inevitable and that our response to them is what truly matters. Viewing difficulties as opportunities for personal growth allows us to learn from every experience, even the most painful or difficult ones. Each time we face and overcome an obstacle, we strengthen our ability to deal with future challenges. Developing resilience does not mean avoiding or ignoring pain. Rather, it involves recognizing and accepting our emotions while seeking constructive ways to deal with them. This may include developing a positive mindset, focusing on solutions rather than problems, and seeking emotional and practical support when needed. An essential aspect of resilience is the ability to adapt to changes. Life is constantly changing, and we often face unexpected or challenging situations. Being resilient allows us to adjust our expectations and plans as needed, without losing sight of our core goals and values. Furthermore, developing resilience strengthens our character. Facing and overcoming adversity helps us develop virtues such as courage, perseverance, and determination. These qualities not only help us face individual challenges, but also make us stronger and more compassionate individuals. The practice of resilience can be cultivated in various ways. One approach is to develop a growth mindset, where we view each challenge as an opportunity for learning and personal development. This includes cultivating a positive attitude towards difficulties, seeking lessons and growth opportunities in every experience. Another strategy is to maintain a strong support network. Having people we trust and can share our concerns and difficulties with is essential for building emotional resilience. This may include friends, family, mentors, or even support groups who share similar experiences. In addition, taking care of our physical and emotional health is crucial for developing resilience. This involves practices such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, healthy eating, and stress management techniques such as meditation and mindful breathing. In summary, developing resilience is not just about enduring difficulties, but also about growing and thriving in the face of them. By cultivating the ability to face challenges with courage and determination, we find an inner strength that guides us through life's storms. Resilience is not a fixed state, but rather a skill that can be developed and enhanced over time, making us more capable of living a fulfilling and meaningful life, regardless of external circumstances. 10. Keeping a journal. Keeping a journal is a powerful practice that can provide numerous benefits for emotional and mental well-being. In the context of Stoicism and other philosophical approaches, writing about our thoughts and emotions is seen as an effective tool for processing experiences and gaining better understanding of our reactions. Writing regularly in a journal allows us to explore our deepest thoughts and reflections on day-to-day events. This may include recording our concerns, challenges faced, achievements reached, or simply our observations about the world around us. By putting our thoughts on paper, we gain a new perspective on our own lives, helping us discern behavior patterns, identify areas of personal growth, and find solutions to problems we face. Additionally, a journal serves as a safe space to express our emotions honestly and without judgment. Often, we may not be aware of underlying feelings until we put them into words. Writing about our emotions allows us to process them in a healthier way, relieving the emotional burden we may carry. This can be especially helpful in times of stress, anxiety, or sadness, providing us with a means to vent and find inner clarity. Over time, a journal also becomes a valuable record of our personal growth and development. We can look back on previous entries and see how we have evolved over the years, both in terms of our achievements and in how we face challenges. This can be inspiring and motivating, reminding us of the progress we have made and the lessons we have learned along the way. For many people, keeping a journal becomes an essential part of their daily or weekly routine. It can be done in various ways, from jotting down brief notes at the end of the day to writing full pages of detailed reflections. The key is to find a style that works best for each individual, whether it's a traditional pen and paper journal, a digital document, or even a smartphone app designed for personal records. In addition to processing thoughts and emotions, a journal can also be used to set personal goals, record daily gratitude, or explore creative ideas. The flexibility of this practice allows it to adapt to individual needs and specific goals of each person. In summary, keeping a journal is not just a way to document our lives, but also a powerful tool for self-awareness, personal growth, and emotional well-being. By taking time to reflect and write regularly, we can cultivate greater mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a deeper sense of self-acceptance and understanding.